Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, evening, morning to everybody, and welcome to the Super Castlevania 4 Tournament 2021. My name is D&D Nat 21. I am joined here in the booth by none other than Just Defend. How are you doing today, Just Defend?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Hello, everyone.
We are here to watch a bunch of good Castlevania entertainment today between these two fantastic racers. On one side, we have Tinnue with a PB, Tinnue with a PB of 3509, and decapent316 with a PB of 37 and 13. We are excited to see this race and excited to see what the results are going to be.
Yeah, I would say pretty evenly matched matchup here we got. So hopefully the game is kind to both of them. We'll see some good runs. Castlevania
Yes.
4, probably one of the hardest Castlevanias to speedrun. So it's been very well optimized, but it can just decimate you if you're not ready.
Yeah, no matter how much you prepare, if the game doesn't like you, it's not going to be a fun time. I've experienced that my fair share of times, I can assure you. So, is everybody ready in the chat? Are we excited to see this race to get started and get these guys going? Can we get some hype for the racers? I'm going to go ahead and confirm with our racers here that we are ready to go, and we're going to get this race started and synced up. Alrighty, we got readies from both of our racers. Countdown has begun. 10, 9, 5, there we go, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little bit of a lag there on my part. They're off. Let's go ahead and wish these guys good luck, ladies and gentlemen. So, stage 1. What can we expect to be seeing from the racers here?
Well, take note of Simon's walk speed. That's as fast as he'll be moving. So you can move a little bit faster if you boost off the enemies when you take damage. But you have to take note, Simon only has 16 health. In the speedrun, we're only looking to take damage off of enemies that deal 3 damage or left. There you go. You see Tinnue doing damage boosts. These guys going through the gate. And yeah, so far pretty even. No mistakes. They got their whip upgrade. It's all good.
Yeah, right now the goal is to try to go as fast forward as possible. And it doesn't matter if you get hit a couple times. As a matter of fact, that's the point. We're going to boost all the way through to get our cross and try to get 3 combo all the way up and make our way through the first stage as fast as possible. Keep the cross for the rest of the game and see how nice Sir Rodane is to our runners today.
Yeah, this is the most important sub-weapon in the game, which is the cross. Unlike the NES counterparts of Castlevania, the cross goes the full length of the screen, making it very useful. And you combine that with a triple shot power-up, maybe it's a little too powerful.
Yeah, it makes these bosses seem kind of chumpish, where the level becomes a little bit more of a headache than the boss itself. Now we see them moving into 1-3, trying to collect that 3rd combo. They should be... Oh, actually, they already have it, and that's my mistake. Sorry about that. They're going to go in for a couple more boosts off of these snake plants and see if they can jump over these horse heads without any issue and move on to the Medusas. Let's see if they can get some Medusa boosts to push themselves forward.
Yeah, another, I guess, new feature in this Castlevania is the loose whip. So basically, you're just going to hold the whip button and then try to delay or stun these Medusa heads without killing them, and then do some boosts. Looks like Decapent opting to kill the Medusa heads instead, and that's also perfectly fine. And they're both looking good on health. They just gotta get past this last boost right here. Decapent also taking it safe there, also a good idea. You can die there on that last boost, just going straight into the pit. So it can be scary.
I have died there many times. There's a small little window where you can be safely landing on those stairs. Some people throw crosses to try to make that a little bit safer and get the contact just right. But I've many times just been launched right off into that pit. Both of them getting a fantastic kill. They're both still very close. Tinnue with the nice little triangle there. It's a little isosceles, but good shot.
She's got the swag going.
Absolutely.
She's feeling it.
So through here, those purple hands are a little bit of a pain when it comes to trying to get the fastest time out of this level. It is completely RNG. They like to grab you, hold you onto the ground, which is why the damage boosts, which we had talked about before, are so pertinent in this first part of the stage, just before this spike pit and armadillos.
Yeah, this little section here is pretty tight on the platforming, but both of them handling it very nicely. Also trying to collect some hearts on the way as well.
Yes, heart management becomes important around here. You can find yourself without a cross, and it becomes a little bit annoying if you don't know your whip percent strats. But both of the racers easily making it through this stage onto the 2-2, which I find is a very smooth level. The crosses just kind of throw, bounce, and land right back in your hand. The timing is very natural. And honestly, the most annoying thing about it is the amphibious frogs that we're about to see.
Yeah, a lot of small animals just trying to hurt you in this stage with the frogs and the birds, and you really want to make sure you get those birds because they'll follow you to the end of the stage if they want to.
Yeah, and the longer that you leave them unhandled, the more out of control they get, the less predictable, and the more likely they are to juke and jive Simon's whip. Ooh, that was scary from Tin just there.
Yes, so some of these candles you can't avoid hitting, and they have sub-weapons in them that you don't want. So, for instance, that dagger, you want to just make sure you avoid that. Tinnue building on her lead, she's up on Medusa, easily taken care of. There we go. And they want to get rid of their hearts because there's an enemy that will cause lag by draining your hearts right there, that little hand. And they're along in the aqueduct here.
Yep, this is Boost City, all about jumping and getting hit forward, making sure that you can time your invincibility with the potion there, as well as the current of the water so that you can optimize your forward motion and make certain that you don't get kind of caught in any form of a back current that might lead you to lose time. Let's see here. Tin now making way into the second part of the river phase, getting all of those extra boosts fantastically as Decapent now pushing down the ramp and closing the gap ever so slightly with every single boost, making sure that this is done properly. The health of Tin now dropping down, but that's okay because she starts the next round with full health. The hearts carry forward, the health resets. That is an important thing to note from going from stage 2 to stage 3.
Yeah, stage 3, I would say this is where the game really starts to test you, especially with the speedrun. It's one of the longer stages, and this first section with the Mudmen. Again, we just talked about Simon's health. He only got 16. You want to avoid taking more than 3 damage, and the big Mudmen, when they're in their full form, they will deal 4. So gotta be careful of that. Gotta be careful of the bone statues as well.
Yep, Tinnue getting some fantastic Mudmen RNG there, making it very clean all the way across, not even taking one hit. Decapent getting the semi-unfortunate one, only having to take 1 boost, but he broke it apart, as you had mentioned before, is to take 3 pips of damage instead of 4. They are both still very close, and yes, as you'd mentioned, this is one of the longer levels, and there's a lot of tech that's involved to optimize these levels, specifically like the ring glitch that we are about to see here, which takes advantage of the directionality that the rings have been programmed with.
Yeah, whenever you whip the ring, it's programmed to send you away from it and then give you the ability to swing. So Tinnue's coming up on it right now. Just got to make sure she hits it from above. And
Ooh,
yeah,
good.
So long as you take that boost off the dragon, the bone statue, you will have some invincibility as well. Just another quirk with the glitch. But it looks like Decapent not feeling it. Just gonna go around. which is perfectly fine.
Absolutely. Backup safe strats are very good when you have a one and done mentality like this race. It's important to stay alive, keep your cross so that you do not have to start the level over, and also rebuild all of this combo. And that's only when you get the cross back, which on stage 3 is not for a little while. Well, except for here where you get a little gift on the bottom. Oh, what happened to Decapent?
Yeah, it looks like near the end of the screen, you take a death. So he's falling further behind, but it is nice you do get the cross back on the screen, so he can work with that. Especially if he died further on in the stage, he would not have it for stage 4. So he's Tinnue building on her lead, getting that rosary that clears the stage. It'll flash the screen for a moment, so avert your eyes if you're not happy with the flashing. There's plenty of flashing in this game.
Yes, exactly. One thing to keep note is that we're going to be noticing it coming up quite a bit, actually. A photosensitive warning for this game. My apologies for not bringing it up a little bit earlier. That there's many points coming up that are going to be heavy on the eyes. So please watch yourselves. If you are sensitive to any form of flashing light, please put on your glasses. Be very careful and try to enjoy the game on a little bit lower of a light setting. It gets a little intense.
Nice eyeball boost there from Decapent. And we got Tinnue on the boss, throwing the first 2 crosses, 3rd cross, and a little bit more whipping. The boss will be on the screen for a little bit more, and the longer it's on the screen, it gets laggier. So, I really don't like those mermen when they're in the water and they just spawn while you're trying to swing across. But Decapent able to avoid it.
Yeah, absolutely. That little bit of a jerk fishman in the bottom there can really ruin a run if you don't know to shorten your whip just after you make that connection and swing right across. Tinnue was not able to get a very quick kill on the Orphic Vipers, but she was indeed able to push on through, having, like you said, to use a lot of the whip to cause a little bit of extra lag, unfortunately. But she was able to push through and be able to hopefully get through with a bunch of these boosts through stage 4. And we're going to go ahead and see the Mode 7 rooms that are offered by this game for the Super Nintendo, as Decapent makes his way up to the Orphic Vipers.
Unfortunately, Decapent wasn't able to get that triple shot. He was really trying to farm the triple shot there by getting as many hits with the cross as he could. But here we see Poexel, easily done.
Nicely done. Sometimes you can get pecked with an extra bean from the top on there when if you get a wrong pattern. And Decapent coming in now with the 2 cross. And nice kill.
Yeah, I had to clean it up a little bit there, but as long as you keep those crosses on there and you finish them off, good to go.
And Decapent getting the nice little triangle there, the Triforce, if Simon was indeed the 3rd piece of the Triforce. So good style there from Decapent as well. You can see that even though he's taken a death, he's still in good spirits, and it is indeed still anyone's race. All it takes is 1 death in a bad spot, and you can easily lose anywhere up to a minute and a half in a run, having to reset and regain your cross. So there is indeed a good room for Decapent to be able to come back and make quite a good comeback from the position that he's in.
Yeah, your composure with this game can change at the snap of a finger, because once you get past stage 5, the game starts to ramp up even further in the difficulty, and it can be very scary.
Yeah, they say stage 6 is usually the dividing point when the race really starts. Because from there on, the amount of risk versus reward is really in play there. Right now, Tinnue making her way through the Mode 7 room, which requires a little bit of lag control to try not to kill anything. Jumping over the skeletons is a lot better to deal with the situation, to reduce the amount of sprites that are currently on screen. But right now, she's making her way through very clean. Let's see will she go for the zip? Is it possible that she's going to try for it, as currently Decapent is waiting in the Medusa room? Let's see. Nope. Safe. Right now, Decapent waiting, taking it easy. relaxing. This is my coffee room. I like to chill out in this room and relax and, try not to press any buttons sideways, left or right, because all you really have to do is crouch right now. And Decapent can be able to make his way across those spikes, make a couple of swings, land on the platforms that come across. Tinnue with some fantastic crusher spikes as she makes her way up to Coronat on a rock.
Yeah, the nice thing about coming up to this boss is there's a little health pickup before, so she'll be near full health. And sometimes you gotta tank a lot of damage when you're fighting this guy because he just sort of walks back and forth along the screen.
Yeah, you end up wasting a lot more time trying to run from him than you would just taking the check and using the iframes in order to position yourself a little better here underneath him, and then have the crosses penetrate, do the extra amounts of damage, and take care of Coronat before he slams back down. As Tinnue just put on a textbook example. Let's see if she goes for the early orb. Oh, unfortunate, but very, very close. Good attempt and good fight by Tinnue. Let's go ahead and see how Decapent takes care of 4-3, and if he will go for the zip.
Yeah, he could make up some time here, but there's definitely some risk going for it. We'll see what he opts to do.
No. Had the opportunity to go for it. We got the bonkless one cycle, we could call it, but he will indeed have to wait here to go for the next rotation in the blocks anyways, and come up to Coronat on the regular pattern. Still anyone's race.
Yeah, not a whole lot to worry about in stage 5. There are randomly spawning harpies that drop Fleeman, but they can be easily taken care of so long as you're ready. Definitely just have to worry about taking as many damage boosts as you can. It's the same situation with near the end of stage 2, where you get your health refilled when you go into stage 6.
Yeah, stage 5 is the kind little break that they give you just before they put you into the stage 6 slaughterhouse, so to speak, of the many obstacles that we are going to be seeing coming up. As Decapent now making his way into the Coronat fight, getting a little bit of an odd pattern from him as the rocks from the ceiling are forcing him to have to position himself a little more. He now makes a fantastic kill. No early orb. Unfortunately, the RNG was just not there for the platforms, as even though if you get even if you've practiced it a bunch of times, the platforms can just not work for you, and you just don't get the chance at that early orb. As now Tinnue making her way through stage 6-1 with a couple of precise jumps, some good cross throws, and we'll see what happens on the chandeliers.
Yeah, this stage is another long one. Very daunting chandelier section coming up on the second screen. But you're going to start to see these axe armor knights throughout the castle, and they have more health than previous enemies. So you'll have to start throwing more crosses, have to deal way more damage to them.
Yeah, it's very easy to forget if you're not an experienced runner, you're just starting speedrunning this game, for you to be able to adjust for that one little damage changeover. Now Tinnue crossing the anxiety swings, as I call them, for the amount of stress that the sound, just the creaking of them makes. Taking a very simple, safe route. No need to make a massive risk for. I believe I think it's only like 10 seconds a cycle, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Cutting a cycle will save about 5 seconds. So.
Oh, okay.
Taking it safe, and watch out for the smaller chandeliers that come down on your head.
Yeah, it's honestly the structure of this building is being called into the question now. Decapent making his way into the second half. Oh, the very beginning, my bad, of stage 6, as he is going to be dealing with those exact same knights, trying to get some solid cross throws, and deal with the chandeliers themselves. Now, Tinnue making her way through the ectoplasms, which require some very precise cross throws, which if you do not get right, you can easily get bumped back into a sub-weapon that you don't like we had discussed previously, or back into any form of spikes. But thankfully, you're only allowed to have 2 of them on the screen at any given time due to the amount of visual overload that this provides to the game.
Here we go. We got Decapent into the chandeliers. Maybe he'll take it safe, knowing that he has to sort of just hang around. That jump right there, very, very cringe-inducing. It's just very makes my heart leap into my chest.
Yep, you saw him think about it for a second. He thought about it.
But there we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Tinnue is making her way through the bone hallway, which requires some very specific cross throws.
Yeah, it's a very good execution here. All these skeletons they just need to be cleared out, and you just gotta throw these crosses without slowing down if you can.
Very clean hallway so far. Very well practiced. Nicely done. No troll candles and good height. And she will now be approaching the dancing ghouls, which is a little bit of RNG, taking the coffin boost and dealing with the more active furniture, trying to remove Simon from Dracula's castle. As Decapent now dealing with the ectoplasms, doing it very cleanly, removing them from the screen almost instantaneously and pushing his way down through the hallway. Let's see if he goes for the bat boost, which is a very good way to skip the stairs. Takes a little bit of time away from there. Look at that. Fantastically done. Very clean. As Tinnue now dealing with ghoul boost.
Yeah, those dancing ghosts will spawn randomly, so they can control you near the end, which takes care of the boss. Very nicely done.
That was very clean, as we had talked about before. Crosses are making a joke of these bosses, and that is another example. Same thing as the Medusa before, where the dancing ghouls are barely on the screen for all of 3 seconds, and just like that, the crosses take care of them. Decapent closely following behind at the heels of Tinnue. One mistake from her, and she is in the same bracket, same time range as Decapent. This is anybody's race. Everybody's on fantastic pace, though, nonetheless. Can we get some hype from the chat, though, for these racers? Come on, give them a good clap.
Yeah, it's still pretty close. Tinnue trying to go for the safety strat there at the beginning of stage 7, but she wasn't able to get rid of that spear guy at the bottom, so she ended up taking some damage. I imagine she's gonna take the health here on the staircases here.
Now, right here is where you want to just kind of fall through everything. If you have backup, you get some backup health right there, like Tinnue has, and you'll be able to just fall right on down to the bottom and go into where we might see a book jump, a very tight frame jump. It is very high risk and very little reward, but it looks very, very cool if you could pull it off. Oh, Tinnue not trusting the amount of time on the setup for that.
Yeah, that was a little scary because now she's got to deal with these red skeletons. She's gonna take it safe. The timing here for when the skeletons wake back up can really throw you off if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone caught that, but there was a candle clip, which can occur sometimes where if the enemy is overlapping a candle, the candle has a priority, and the cross almost didn't hit the red skeleton there. If she didn't do that backup whip, that would have been a knock into the pit for her. So very good for her taking that strategy, as Decapent made very short work of the dancing ghouls as well. Now pushing onto stage 7, the library, making his way all the way through this. Let's see if Bro Knight is Bro and is nice. Very nice, letting him pass without any issue whatsoever. Doing some fantastic cross throws and pushing his way all the way through the knights, getting a little bit of a back boost. Hopefully the stairs boss is nice, and I did not commentator's curse him just now.
Yeah, when Simon's moving up the stairs, he can take damage from those axes, and then you just use the iframes just to pass by the axe armors. So it's a nice little speed run tech right there. Now he's gonna go through the stairs and pick up this health. It's always nice to have that health there after that damaging first screen.
Alrighty, now Tinnue entering the fight with Sir Dracul. We have a little bit of a low health bar, which could be an issue, but we'll see how this plays out. She's going for just goes for straight pure damage and successfully gets it. As Decapent now deciding to not take the book jump, either, taking it safely, making sure that he is not taking any risks and making sure that he, with the death that he took previously, I'm sure in his mentality, he thinks he's playing a little bit from behind. So the safe strats are what will make you play consistently and comfortably.
He's got to watch his health. There is some health that you can pick up on the next screen, but you just got to avoid the bats and get past this axe armor.
Absolutely. Tinnue now into stage Hate, the most dangerous and angering of stages, as a good majority of the things here will just straight up kill you or get you in some sort of a damage cycle that if you're not careful, you'll just bounce around until your health reaches 0 and you have to start all over again. Now, let's see if we can get some good damage boosting from Tinnue and push it on through safely to make it onto the second part of this stage, where it's a little bit smoother, a little bit more consistent. Fantastic boosting, as Decapent now does the same thing on the statues at the end of stage 7.
Yeah, the scary thing about like the first screen on stage 8 is they also got those peeping eyes. So like as you're trying to avoid all these spikes that will just one hit you, you also have these eyeballs that are just being very annoying and trying to damage you into the acid or whatever.
Yeah, those eyeballs have a tendency to also be in this odd angle. They like to sit on either side between the 45 and vertical that Simon is able to get. So every once in a while, you'll just be missing that whip and standing there, and it'll just decide to swoop down on you. As Decapent making short work of Gracul as well, taking advantage of it, full health, not even taking a hit. As Tinnue now using a little bit of a damage boost to walk right on through those dangerous spikes. Normally you would have to wait for a cycle, but thankfully due to the stairs right there located to break apart and give you some damage, you can walk quite freely through it. Do you think she's going to bet on Vegas?
It would definitely really solidify her lead here. We'll see what she opts to do. She's not going to go for it. She's going to wait. Again, this bridge disappearing. The little stalactite from above just came down on her, and she was very, very calmly handled that, jumped back onto the appearing platform on the left, takes care of Frankenstein. She's probably really happy to be out of that stage.
Yeah, big ol' sigh of relief. We could hear that from all the way over here. Now Decapent getting those boosts and making his way through that little damage cycle, getting a very quick jump. You can just, taking it very safe, because you can indeed just walk underneath that if you have got the timing right, but you don't want to take that risk here. Going for the top route instead, and going for the Palpatine spikes, as I love to call them, for the sound effect that they make, saying do it, as they chase you down. Now Tinnue starting her gold stage to see if she can continue this lead. She's on a fantastic pace. Let's see if she can keep the boosts and keep this pace going. Come on, let's go ahead and hype her up, everybody.
Yeah, this is the gold level, another lengthy one. When she gets to this next screen, she might intentionally try to avoid some of these platforms, because they'll start to break apart when Simon's feet touch them, and the more of them that start to break apart, the more lag there will be. This is a very laggy stage.
Very much so. They tried to show off everything that they could with this game. It looks beautiful, but unfortunately the system just couldn't handle it. Decapent now doing fantastic work with the potion, making a safe strat through, using the poisons to boost all the way across. Very, very nicely done, as he now approaches the Vegas Bridge. And will he take it? I don't know. I think he should be playing it a little bit safe, wait for the bridge to rotate, and yep, exactly, wait for that to spawn and jump right across into Frankie's fight to take him out with full crosses instead of risking losing it in a Vegas Bridge.
Yeah, Frankenstein not too hard. You do have to keep an eye on when he throws these potions right on top of you, but they can be destroyed, and you should be able to take care of it, no problem. Tinnue, little trouble there with the rings, but she able to swing across. That bone dragon on the right will shoot a fireball, and sometimes that can stop you from trying to swing there, but able to swing across before anything complicates that situation further.
Yeah, the Scrooge pit, as some of the runners like to refer to it as, is a sinking pit that if you don't get the timing right, as you had mentioned that fireball, it's a very small window that you're actually able to swing back around and not get boosted back into that hole. And it's one of those damage cycles, like I had mentioned before, where it's just frustrating to get stuck in time and time again. As Tinnue now making her way up the ascent, dealing with Richard Bones, a little headache skeleton that likes to jump off and attack some runners there. As that was a very close diagonal whip and almost lost it. Horizontal whip to a limp whip. That was scary from Tinnue. That was terrifying. As Decapent is now closing the gap and doing a fantastic job on stage 9, getting started there.
Yeah, she might be feeling the pressure here coming into the stage 9 boss, but I do like that she farmed some health before making the climb up there. This is another flashy boss here with the Zaf Bat. Gotta hit it 22 times on the 22nd hit boss will collapse into smaller bats, and you want it to be around around your jump height. You can see one of the bats here hovering a little further above, but able to clean it up. Nicely done.
Pretty good bat fight. And indeed, one of them was a little bit higher than what she had intended or would have preferred to have dealt with. As she now gets to ascend the stairs and start onto stage A, as Decapent is now making his way across the spikes, which some people can indeed take in one frame, which is a little risky. It's better to wait or maybe even take a boost. But right now, he is going to take a fireball boost, jump through the dragon, and jump up onto the stairs. It is much faster than waiting for trying to fight the dragon, and also sometimes getting stuck in those vacuums, which could really hold you down and delay your time, as he's now making the ascent expertly all the way to Richard, almost getting bumped by Richard in the face. That would have been a rough time.
Yeah, the nice thing about those stairs right there. Oh no!
Oh no! Oh!
I was going to compliment the stairs by that they as soon as you touch the stairs, those bone dragons won't hit you backwards, but the bad thing about the stairs is trying to jump onto them, and sometimes you'll get a bad sub pixel, and that's unfortunately a death number 2 for Decapent, giving Tinnue an even further lead.
Yes, Tinnue has very much got a comfy little cushion for her to sit on. She can afford to make a mistake or two, but she is not aware of that circumstance and will continue to play with the same mentality this whole time. Now, Decapent having to reascend and also get his cross. I don't believe there is not a backup cross here. He's going to have to refer to whipped only percent strats for this bat fight, as he makes his ascension now, trying to conserve some health and having to deal with a spawned dragon. Normally you can despawn this one.
Yeah, it looks like he's also got the short whip too, so he's got to get himself another whip upgrade. There we go. Tinnue on the little conveyor belt here, just has to avoid any projectiles coming at her, and she should be able to ascend nicely.
Absolutely. For this area, you can either choose to go to the left side for speed or the right side for health. Just if you go to the right side, watch for that Medusa that can easily take you out. Here, she's able to use the low cross, jump clean on over, and avoid the fireballs with a very slight adjustment on the ring, making her way towards the end of A2, towards the mummy with hopefully some good RNG. Let's see what happens, as Decapent now making short work of the bats. A little bit of chaos with the height that he had taken them out at, but he is able to make short work, good fight, and able to get back on the road to finishing this game and getting the cross back and defeating Dracula.
Nice one cycle from Tinnue. She got a very good spawn from the mummy. This mummy spawns in 4 different spots, and the most favorable one, bottom left or the far right. So it will take care of the far right spawn in one go, and she's well on her way to having a good finish.
It's very rare that we've seen the mummy be so kind in that situation with the spawning location. Multiple times we've seen it spawn in the middle to deal the runners a 1 cycle or a 2 cycle. Tinnue now going through the descent of stage B, dealing with the bat bridge, which slowly crumbles and causes a bunch of lag, which is why you will see the back whips now to try to balance the amount of sprites that are currently on the screen. Decapent climbing up the clock tower. There is indeed a backup cross that is at the top of this ascent towards the next phase, the next screen. That will be a good way for him to get his combo back and get him back into the rhythm of the game.
Yeah, again, we don't want any other sub weapons. We just want that cross. That's the most important thing. So anytime you can pick it up in a stage is good news.
The only time that I want one backup weapon, and I'm probably going to bite my tongue in saying this at some point in time, is the knife that I would take to back up and get me the cross in stage B. That would be the only time that I need that knife. Other than that, it's just to get another cross. Now, Tinnue, dealing with the stairs. Neutral jumps are your friend. You do not want to try to come at the stairs at a certain angle if you can help it, because it will increase your chances of avoiding the stairs boss dead angle or dead pixel that we are all too familiar with in these runs. Now, Decapent making his way through A1 on the right-hand side. He didn't suffer a death, did he?
I believe he did. It looks like right before he got to that cross spawn, he did take a death, and again, very, very shaky spot here with all the axe armors, the projectiles. There's Medusa heads and the rotating gears. I think it was right here that Decapent took a death. But he's able to get the cross now, and hopefully he can survive the rest of the stage. As we see Tinnue, she's taking it very safe. I don't blame her. She's looking to win this match.
She's going for consistency, and she knows that if she suffers a death, she's going to have a lot more to deal with on the way back. It is very difficult, as you had mentioned, in this ascent. With everything going on, there's a lot of sprites on the screen. There's lag to adjust for. Sometimes inputs simply just get eaten when you are trying to time things properly, and your straight whip turns out to be a little bit limper than you had liked. And now Tinnue making her way into Slagra. Slagra, be kind. Sometimes Slagra can be a little bit of a headache.
Yes, not surprisingly, everyone knows of Slagra, the hardest to beat quickly of these of the terrible trio that we're coming up on. But Tinnue using the crosses, and she survived. She's got some health on her. That's the most you could ask for, and she's gonna fill up that life bar.
But yeah, very few racers are consistently getting into Slagra and walking out with the cross, regardless of the health. That doesn't really matter. They're just thankful to be done with Slagra. Now on to Gaibon, who is a little bit easier of a boss if you can time your crosses properly. As now Decapent is dealing with a unfortunate bad spawn on the mummy. I believe that was a nice 2-cycle though. Nonetheless, as he pushes his way into stage B, once again. A couple of mistakes. If anything happens, it's very possible for Decapent to come back. The only thing is that every single stage now, every single boss is its own restart point.
Yeah, the Grim Reaper, there's a nice little setup that Tinnue's going to do here. And as long as she gets it down pat, she'll take this boss down. I imagine no problems from here on out unless Dracula magically decides that he's gonna stop Simon today. So,
well, there is indeed one final boss that we have seen Tin fight before. Let us see if she is able to defeat this boss one more time. But now Decapent making good work and pushing his way through the descent, crossing the bat bridge. Let's see if he goes for a little bit of a bat boost to try to push his distance over the stairs. Tin opting not to go for the secret this time. She believes she has just enough hearts and tons of health.
I say, yeah, going for the secret there. Sometimes you make a judgment call with the amount of hearts you need, and then the risk with that is you have to climb back out of the little secret. So sometimes just trying to get onto the stairs just will be the death of you. But Tinnue doing a very nice job lining up the crosses, whipping Dracula's head, taking care of the flames. She might have this in the bag.
Absolutely, she's hasn't taken any hit now. Decapent making his way up the stairs, boss having a little bit of a rough time. Doesn't have the cross again, so I believe unfortunately he may have fallen victim to the level design once more, as there is indeed a backup cross, but it's a little risky to get if you do not know the proper strategy to get it safely with the dagger, as I had mentioned previously. He's opting for whip strats now, as Tinnue going for the final phase of Dracula, possibly. Yep, there it is.
It's a very nice run. Yeah,
fantastic run.
Fantastic. I believe deathless from Tinnue, so that's about as good as it gets with speedrunning this game, honestly.
Absolutely. That was a one and done from Tinnue, no deaths, with what appears to be a final time of on screen 35:57 and let's see here, in race time 36:01. Let's get some GGs for Tinnue, our winner of the race today, but do not stop the hype. Let's give it up for Decapent, and as he's now approaching a Slagra, dealing with a little bit of an issue. It's whip strats. It's going to be a little bit longer, but it's consistent, and what you want to be able to do here is take no damage in the first phase, because in the second phase, it's when you are really going to be dealing with proper timing on your jumps and getting stuck in the corner if he decides to double charge you.
Yeah, when he starts doing these charges, these well-timed jumps are really effective at avoiding him. But during the first phase, it's nice to be able to duck under his trident and avoid his little attack there. But he does have some variations with what he can do. Like he'll shoot a projectile and explode. But here in the second phase, it's real nice that all he does is just lunge at you. Although it's just very scary when he does it because he'll catch you off guard sometimes.
Yeah, it's a much tighter window to avoid that jump, but at the same time, at least it's not that 15% charge that is pretty much unavoidable as you're caught crouching and he decides to dash across the screen. Now we're going to see whip strats against Gaibon here, which is about really trailing him and following his hitbox properly. He's gone to the ground, which is great to hit on, to be able to hit at, but he didn't even need that much time on the ground to make short work of him. He was aligning his whips fantastically, doing tons of damage to Gaibon, doing a fantastic job taking care of this creature without needing the cross. Let's see how Death is acting, if he's going to be kind to Decapent with whip strats. It's going to be a little bit rougher. The Death has a tendency to not want to play nice. Sometimes he can stay on the ceiling and just kind of want to shift back and forth without going for a lower dive, or what Whip percent prefers to get is the scythe spin.
Yeah, I like this safety strat there, just staying at the bottom left and using the loose whip to destroy any of those little projectiles. And this is how you do it. You're in a vacuum, but very nice jump there. The second scythe gets you, and when you get hit by that big scythe, it deals 5 damage to you. So
that's an insane amount of. Is that the most amount of damage short of an insta-death in this game?
Yep. That's the price of beating the Grim Reaper. He gets the most damaging weapons, I guess.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and see if the secret is kind. There isn't any issues with the stairs. Let's go ahead and make sure that they've all been inspected and there's a handrail. And measures it out. For that invisible jump, what you can measure it out with a little bit is there's a distance from the back of the moon and Simon's head. Once you get used to that distance, you can use that to almost consistently jump, depending on where you have stopped moving from the top of the stairs. Now, Decapent moving his way into Dracula. Time to see how nice he is to him.
Yeah, sometimes Dracula, he'll give you a bad spawn, like he'll be in a corner. Anywhere near the middle of the screen is good, or just a little closer to the windows on the top. But here's a nice corner spawn right there. When the boomerang just goes to the wall and comes back, you get multiple hits. That's a good sign.
Yeah, the last thing you need is him lining up on the corner when you've got your boomerangs, or your crosses already bounced off the other side of the wall, and you're standing there hoping that you can get to him with a whip, and he decides to do a little bit of a hot foot underneath you. Here, we're going to be dealing with lightning and maybe some pause strats, depending on it, but I think it's HP. Oh, no, great whip damage with those crosses for Decapent as he finishes up Drac. Let's get some GGs in the chat. Fantastic run from both of our runners. A great job. We're going to see what this final time is in just a few seconds.
Yes, kudos to both of our runners, and definitely to Decapent for toughing it out. This is, again, very unforgiving game, but you can't give up. Simon can never give up.
Nope, that's you got to keep going until you can beat him and press that end button with a final time of 40:33 for Decapent and a final time in race time GG with a 40:37. That is the race for today, everybody. Give it up for our racers. Fantastic hype, great race, great run from both of our competitors. What an amazing experience for us to be able to share with you guys. We're going to have our racers in here in just a moment. Give it up for our racers, chat. Let's go. Alrighty then. So we do indeed have both of our racers in the chat with us right now. Let's go ahead and get it started off with our winner for the evening, Tinnue. How are you doing this evening? You did a fantastic run. deathless and pretty error free. We saw that you went for pretty much consistent and safe strats. How are you feeling?
I'm definitely feeling better now. Not so much mistakes free on my end. There was a lot of mistakes. Also, my cat scared the shit out of me because I wanted to go for the book jump, but my cat did a table jump. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So the setup was thrown off a little bit, and then just exterior factors came into play, and you went for the safety. We saw that there was a little bit of an issue there with the cycle of the book going around. That explains why you were thrown off ever so slightly.
Yeah, I got cat butted.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, this it's definitely a serious time moment, and then something takes your focus away. You handled it well. I definitely give you props for the run you gave us today.
Yeah, fantastic job. Was there any part of the race that you felt like that maybe you were playing from behind, or that you were not doing well, or was there any part that you felt like was maybe a hiccup for you along this race?
Mostly pretty decent, but like from my perspective, I saw mistakes everywhere. Stage 1 was okay. Stage 2, I think I already started to do mistakes, and then there's a lot of clutches on the way. Like stage 7, my cat. Then stage 6, there was something too, I guess. And then 8 and 9, and then also jumping off the gear in stage A, and then being lucky enough to hold up in the right moment to land on the stairs. I saw myself dying.
Oh, there was a couple of clutch moments where you had us gasping, and it was fantastic though, where you were able to make a recovery, even the way that you were handling the lag. Very nicely done. Fantastic run, and GG. Well done on moving on forward into the next bracket. Now, Decapent, how are you doing? The fantastic run, great job. Seems like you had a little bit of a hiccup, a couple of along the way on, I believe, stage 3, and from there, usually things start to snowball. But you finished the race, and you did a fantastic job and a good show. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, actually. I did the best I could. The race was okay, but it was filled with silly mistakes, like the one you said in stage 3, where I just bumped my head against the block and I fell into the hole. That was pretty funny.
Oh no, wait, you died on stage 3?
Yes, and I missed the 3-2 ring glitch also, so I decided to skip the glitch, and I was okay with that, but then I fell in the hole. I've got my life split up, so I can see from my life split that I was getting back on my own pace. But then I died again, I think, in stage 9, and I died in stage A, and and from there it was all downhill from there. But I had a pretty good moment, I had a blast. So I'm satisfied.
Absolutely, as you should be. You put on a fantastic display of skill. You did a 40-33, which in a race is a fantastic job. Good showing, like a great display, man.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to our racers before we finally head on off for the rest of the evening? Just Defend.
I think it was a well-fought match today. You guys, very good showing of Castlevania 4. I'm always happy to see runs and races, just races of this game in general.
Yeah, I want to thank you very much for joining me in the booth. Very much appreciate having you here. It was an awesome experience sharing it and commentating with you. I want to tell everybody in the chat to please follow everybody, both of these racers. Follow Just Defend. I don't know if have you been streaming lately?
Just a bunch of little casual playthroughs. Just not so much speedruns, but I have been streaming a little bit, yes.
Oh, well, fantastic. Well, thank you very much once again to everybody involved with this, as well as the moderators who take care of this, the people who are streaming this. Thank you very much for Mannix for taking care of the setup with helping set up everything today. The next race that we're going to be taking a look at, unless I am mistaken, is, let's see here, Wednesday, March 31st. That will be at 11:30 p.m. GMT +0 between Krunen and Cypherin. That will be a fantastic race. These are two great runners who have fantastic PBs, fantastic consistency, and are always in to do some interesting strats. So be sure to tune in then for that. Follow the bracket to keep up to date on all of the matches that are going to be going on, as well as who is going to be facing who in either the winners or the losers bracket. I want to thank everybody again for being here. Chat was extremely hype. You mean the world to us. Please stay tuned, stick around for, stay tuned for the next match, the next race. Follow the bracket. Have yourselves a great day, and GG.
GG to you.
Everyone have a good one.
Thanks, everybody.